Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and today we are covering the brand new legendary event, One Famous Wookiee, where you can try to earn shards of the new original trilogy Chewbacca. So this event just went live minutes ago, and I'm going to try and record my early attempts here. This video is going to be a little less polished and prepared than the videos that I usually do for the channel. I want to get this information out as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do here is just put together my early attempts. I am going to start at tier 1, and I am going to start with my bounty hunters as is. So we'll go through the event. I'll show my bounty hunters first, what their current status is, and then we'll see how far we get before we need to start making upgrades, switching in arena mods, adding a little bit of gear which I've saved up, putting a Zeta on characters, and that way you'll see how far we can get based on the characters I have, and hopefully that information will help you guys out as you're preparing to take on this event and see how far you can get. I know the requirements have been stated to be really, really high, and that makes sense because bounty hunters have been out for a long time. It's been easy to get a 5-crew team for bounty hunters, so the hurdle, the paywall, the panic farm, if you will, is going to be the gear to put on your bounty hunter team. So we'll see what it takes, and we'll see how far we can go with the current team, and then I'm sure it's going to take future videos throughout the rest of the week during this event to figure out exactly how high we can climb to get Chewbacca. So tier 1, we can see recommended level is 50, recommended gear is 6, and you only need 1-star bounty hunters or more, which is pretty standard. So we are going to switch in a Bossk lead, and this is the team that we have right now. So Bossk, they are all set up with mods that I've put on my bounty hunter team for normal play, for territory wars and things like that. They do not have my most upgraded mods. So we can see the gear level, and we'll go to speed, 217, which is plus 72 for this gear level. We'll go to Boba Fett, gear 10, no zetas, most of his omegas are missing. Again, that's all stuff that we can upgrade as we go through here. Again, 207 speed, again, plus 72 based on his gear level. We're going to roll with Greedo, gear 9, no zetas, missing most of his omegas, and he's at 193 speed, so that's plus 71, and I have him set up to crit chance, crit damage, because he can be very good if he can get a chain of crits going. And then Dengar seems to be a solid choice. He's gear 9. Again, most of his omegas are missing at this point. And he's a little bit slower, 48 extra speed to bring him to 151. And then we're going to start with IG-88. We do have Zam Wessel in the wings, and we could get Cad Bane up and running, but that's not likely the route that we'll go for this event. And IG-88 is gear 8, so lower, so definitely a prime candidate to get some additional gear. And we have IG-88 at plus 35 speed, 151. So certainly not impressive mods at this point. Alright, let's start out with Tier 1 battle. I'm imagining this will be a pretty quick breeze through. Pretty cool cinematic, like in the previous Legendary events, there was usually some opening cinematic, some scene, but that one looks a little more complicated and involved than is usual. That was pretty cool. Alright, so we can see we have Chewbacca. Is it a new Han Solo? Or is that just what... That looks like a different Han Solo than we've seen before. It's listed just as Han Solo. I can't quite tell from the front. It's a weird view and a weird angle. It had the Han shoots first and stuns at the beginning, so maybe it is the same. But it has a different kind of feel to it. Then we've got Rebel Officer Leia Organa, R2-D2, Lando, and of course there's Chewbacca. So we're going to blast through this one pretty quick. These guys are low gear, and this should not be a challenge. So you can get through the first couple of tiers here very easily as long as you have a 5 bounty hunter team. Alright, we're going to run into Tier 2. Recommended gear level is 60. Recommended gear is 7+. We're going to keep the team the same. Alright, once again, they are low-ish gear now. That's interesting. Chewbacca is, what, gear? I forget if that's 7 or 8 based on the rings, but he only has 2 bars of protection and 4 bars of health, so that looks really, really low. But let's start by taking out Chewbacca. Let's get Han down, and the AoE might take out more than one. Alright, there we go. Once again, level 2 looked relatively easy. Those characters did not have a high amount of health and protection. So a couple of AoEs, a couple of thermal detonators you get out there, you should be able to take that down without too much trouble. Tier 3. Recommended gear is 8. So once again, we are over that. Oh, I guess that's the other part, why their health was also low, because they're not full level 85 characters. Yeah, these guys are only level 50. But definitely a little more health and protection on these guys. And we don't have IG-88, but let's do the call to assist. Let's try to burn down Chewie. We've got a lot of attacks coming. Got enough. Ability block. And some detonators. And again, this is not too difficult. R2-D2 looks like he's got some health there, but it's not going to be enough to stop this team. Alright, Tier 4. Recommended gear is 80. Recommended gear level is 9+. So this is crawling up very quickly. Same team. No changes at this point. And now this is looking a little bit more serious. We can see the new guard mechanic that Chewbacca has. Can't be critically hit, immune to daze and stun. Also increased critical chance. So let's try to take Leia out and activate the payouts. I don't know if that's necessary yet. Again, this is the first time we're trying this. Let's get some more detonators out there. Leia goes down. But because it was the detonator team, or the detonator that did it, that damage might not have counted. Alright, we're able to execute. And it looks like we have this one under control. Let's see if we can get a stun here on R2-D2. And since R2 stunned, mass attack on Chewbacca. Nice chain there, and good. Okay, Tier 5 is typically the one that people start to care about, because if you can complete Tier 5, you should get Chewbacca unlocked at 5 stars. And we have, what, Tier 6 and Tier 7 should be enough to unlock at 6 stars and 7 stars respectively. So tier 5 is the big one. It's the first one that allows you to get the character. Recommended level 85, recommended gear level 11 plus. They seem to have forgotten about gear 10 there, going from tier 4 to tier 5. Chewbacca is immune to ability block, and his cooldowns can't be increased. So the big question here, is there going to be preloaded turn meter on this Chewbacca and this team as we come into tier 5? That is a mechanic that sometimes gets used. I really hate it to artificially make the opponent stronger and to give them all these extra turns, but let's see what happens here. Okay, it did not look like they started with preloaded turn meter. It was just the speeds, and again, I'm not surprised to see my team get outdone in terms of speed with the mods that are currently on these guys. So we're going to get out a little bit of ability block there I think we were able to put on. We will put out some detonators. And Greedo got destroyed. Greedo might be one of the keys here. If we can get lucky and get him to chain a couple of critical attacks, that might be one way that you can kind of cheat out a win here a little earlier than you're supposed to. Alright. That was definitely not enough, but it wasn't so bad that I feel like we can't get there. So, I'm going to run it one more time, take a look at the strategy, see what's going on here from these guys, and see if there are any changes that we can make either with the RNG or with the strategy. It looks like they're going to get that stealth off with R2-D2 before I get a chance to move, and that's definitely going to limit my options. As much as I appreciate the cutscenes, having a way to skip them after about the 5th time would probably be appreciated. Okay, so R2-D2 did not use smokescreen that time, so good to know there is some variance in what ability he can use and the order that he uses it in. Unfortunately, we lost Bossk. If we had him alive, we probably would have gotten our mass attack as one of our first moves there, and that would have been a big deal. Let's just see if we can knock the turn meter down on Han, and then maybe we'll try for a chain here to see if we can get lucky. Only one hit. Oh, right. Guarded is on Han, so that's going to be important. The chain of critical hits that we're going to go for, we can't attack. Can't be critically hit. Right, that is right. So, when we go for that chain of attacks, we're not going to be able to do it on the target that has guard. Let's see if we can execute. No, not enough in the tank there. Okay, so there definitely is a level of RNG here, and I don't know if it's possible with the team that I have it currently set up. If you ran enough RNGs to get the start that you wanted, could you do it? Maybe. But it looks like it's going to be fairly difficult. So what I'm going to do now is give this 1 or 2 more tries, and then if it seems like I'm not making any progress, if I'm not making any additional headway, we'll look to make some improvements to the team. I haven't zeted Bossk's lead. That might help. There are a couple other options I can do, some of the Omegas. So we'll run this 1 or 2 more times and then decide what to do in terms of an upgrade, and then we'll come back. If I have just similar runs where I face the same kind of defeat, I won't put all those in the video. I'll skip ahead to the next run where I've changed something. But we can see we can get a beneficial start here. All the targets are available. We did not lose Bossk. We didn't lose anybody. We did get a stun, and what is going to be the best choice here? We can't take out Han or Leia because they're both guarded. So, not being able to crit, I think, it might be best to avoid them for now. So let's get Bossk's taunt up. Okay. Now we can use the area of attack and... let's try that on Chewbacca. Let's try that on Han. The ability block. Now we can go for swarm attack. Let's see if we can get rid of Lando. His AoE can go around the taunt. We didn't quite get there. We did get a stun. Thinking of thermal detonator here is the right choice. We could also try to remove turn meter. Let's try to knock Han's turn meter down. I don't want that big hit coming in. Alright, now we're going to go for Lando. Thermal detonators. Probably going to lose an IG-88 from R2's flame. We do. That was not a great series of attacks for us there. So, Chewbacca has 4 buffs on him. We could do an execute and get rid of all of those. It's probably not going to be enough, though. Wow, it was. We crit, and we got him down. If we can get a stun here on Han, then we're probably going to lose Boba Fett, but he'll come back. And, wow, I don't think it's going to be enough. But if he could take out Han here and get his buff back, we do get it. Wow, okay. This is going to be pretty close. Let's go for Leia. And we'll do an ability block. And then we'll also get rid of the Foresight on R2. Oh, unfortunately we lost Dengar. Alright, I feel like the execute needs to happen here in order to take out Leia and get the buff back. I don't think a double tap is going to do it. Let's go for it here. Good. And now it is going to be one-on-one. Let's go for the block. And we're going to need to not get stunned. That's going to be a big part of this. We're going to leave the AoE, the dot up. I don't think execute has enough in it to take R2-D2 out in one hit here. So let's see if we can get another dot to stick. We did get one. R2-D2 puts up Foresight. Let's go for another. This attack can't be evaded. I do have that on here. So it will be three abilities, 3 buffs or debuffs. Let's go for it. Really close here. No double tap. Oh, I don't know if the ability block is worth it. I don't think so. I'd rather go for the double tap and try to take him out. Got him. Yes. Okay. So, definitely doable with a well under-geared team compared to what is in the recommended gear list. So, that was great. Alright, we're going to back out now and double check that we did unlock Chewbacca at 5 stars. There we go. Activate Chewbacca. So, there he is. 5-star Chewbacca. Awesome. So, even though Gear 11 looks very intimidating, this is certainly doable at way, way less than that. And I know it ramps up after this. So what we're going to do now, there's Chewbacca in all his glory. So I'll pull up the team one more time just to wrap up the this video here. We're going to cut off at this point. We can see the bounty hunters. We can see Boba Fett, Gear 10, plus 72 speed. Bossk, Gear 9, plus 72 speed. Greedo, Gear 9, plus 71 speed. Dengar, plus 48 speed on a Gear 9 character. And IG-88, a lowly Gear level 8, and just 35 extra speed on this character. Again, most of these guys were missing most of their Omegas. No Zetas on the squad. And that was enough to get Gear 5, or Star 5 Chewbacca, to get him unlocked, the new legendary character. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to end the video here, get this one put up so people can at least know what they need to do to get the Gear 5 Chewbacca, the level 5 star level Chewbacca. And then I will start working on 6 and 7, and I'll do those in a future video. I feel like it's going to take a lot more work to get those done. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you're finding it useful. I know one of the biggest questions is, do I have enough firepower, enough gear invested in my team to unlock Chewbacca, to unlock the legendary character that's out currently? And hopefully this video answers that for you, gives you a little advice, saves you some gear, and then as we get into the second and third videos for Tier 6 and Tier 7, lets you know what your ultimate gear investment will be. And if you're not going to reach those, then you know not to overcommit now and waste that gear when it could be used for somebody else before the Chewbacca event returns. So, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.